drawing time. I will extend it for another day if we need to, okay? So,
Yeah, I think we're
just use this as good chill time, and we'll make you up for it. We want to help her out, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you guys heard of pumpkins that wait over time, you think that's fairy tale stuff, right? Cinderella's carriage? Well, we better get Cinderella down here pronto, because last year there was a pumpkin that weighed 2,009 pounds. That's pretty big, right? Can any of you guys tell me how much one of your trucks weighs?
2,000 to 3,000 pounds.
Thank you guys. Well, imagine a truck that weighs almost about as much as a pumpkin. It's pretty big, right? Well, you may wonder what got me interested in the first place. We have grown pumpkins in our family since way back in 2003. And our biggest is 1,100 pounds. It's a state record. This is the world record pumpkin. And it is our state record pumpkin of 1,100 pounds. And we went to coastal Laos and met some legendary pumpkin growers, including a world record holder, Geneva Emmons. So the main point is that giant pumpkins can be grown if you know how. Today I will cover the history of a giant pumpkin, how to grow them, and competitions and things to do with your giant pumpkin. First off, how did pumpkins get to be so big? Well, according to the South New England Giant Pumpkin Growers Association, pumpkins date back to 5,500 BC. But no one really ever paid attention to genetics. I mean, a couple hundred years ago, they got a few hundred pounds, but still, no one paid attention to genetics until Howard Dill, that is. He is known as the grandfather of giant pumpkins. He started growing way back in 1979. He's from Nova Scotia, Canada, and he paid attention to genetic crosses of his pumpkins. And now he has his own breed of seeds that is the Dill Atlantic Giants, and now they constantly produce huge pumpkins over 2,000 pounds. Well, you know the history, but how do you grow pumpkins of this size? First off, the seed needs to be with soil. It needs to be rich and in a large plot of soil because the roots can grow up to 20 feet out from the stem. You need to not let the soil compact, which it often does, so you can't walk on it. You have to put pallets down. And giant pumpkin seeds are much bigger than regular seeds. I have some here. You can see there's regular pumpkin and giant pumpkin seeds. They're quite a bit bigger, which means they produce bigger pumpkins. Well, the best proven seeds can cost hundreds of dollars in an auction. But if you're in the know, you can get some for free. So, our family personally finds it best that you germinate them in a house, under a light, in a plastic bag, wrapped in a wet paper towel, just like you guys are doing in class. So you're already halfway there, right? Well, these seeds germinate best at about 88 degrees Fahrenheit. And as they sprout, they need to be first potted into a pot of soil, but they get ripped out very easily, so put them in a greenhouse quickly. When you put them in the greenhouse, the first two leaves, this one there, will come out one way, and you need to plant it facing the other way because that's where the main vine will come out. And control the greenhouse temperature at about 80 degrees. Now, vines, they'll start out main vines, side vines will come off of that, tertiary vines will come off of that. Pluck the tertiary vines to put more energy into the plant. And you need to bury your root systems at the nodes. Node is just a fancy word of the leaf and the vine and the root system. You want to bury them to get more growth of root systems and support your plant more. Well, soon male and female flowers will appear, and a male flower looks like this, and a female flower looks like this. You take a male flower, pluck the petals off, go over to the female flower, and rub the pollen on it, tie it shut for the day so you know the cross. You can also let the bees do it, but it's not as effective because you don't know the cross and it might not get pollinated. Well, you also want to set the pumpkin out at about 10 to 12 feet on the main vine. and they do grow fast. They're often measured to track the growth, and you can use a circumference tape like this one to wrap it around the circumference and check a chart, or this tape measure has it, an estimated weight of your pumpkin, so you don't need to pick it up and put it on a scale while it's still growing. And then you can track how fast they grow. And it's amazing. These pumpkins in the middle of season can put up to 30 pounds a day on. There are websites devoted just for pumpkin growing, such as bigpumpkins.com and Pumpkin Nook. And, well, no matter how much you do, pumpkin growth will slow in September. These can now be taken to weigh-offs or used for other purposes. Weigh-offs, the rules and regulations are strictly set, and pumpkins are thoroughly checked for slits or pinholes where you can put lead into them. But the prizes are big. For first place, it's $1,000. It's $1 a pound for first place. It's some big weigh-offs, which means if you have a 1,000-pound pumpkin, you get $1,000. It's a pretty big prize for a little hobby, right? Well, you can also carve them, but unless you have a chainsaw on, you can't carve them really well because the rinds are over a foot thick. So they do relief carvings, which are beautiful designs that don't go all the way through. And this one at the top right is a pumpkin that I grew that I sold to a professional pumpkin carver. And they're just really beautiful designs that can be put on display for Halloween or paraded around town for publicity. Because who sees these pumpkins every day? But my personal favorite, it can also be floated in. Yeah, you heard me right, is in hollowed out and stuck in a lake. We did, a few years ago at Smith Lake, we hollowed one out and floated in it for a while. It's a very great memory that I have. And in some places in the country, they even put boat motors on them and have races. Well, the final stage of the pumpkin is to be given to deer, pigs, or cows, as they're not good quality for making pies and stuff. But the seeds can be saved for next year. Well, this is an end to the year of a pumpkin growing cycle, and also my presentation. See, giant pumpkins are easy to grow if you know how. You now know the history of the pumpkin that started with Howard Dale, the tips and tricks for growing a pumpkin, and what to do with your giant pumpkin. This hobby has provided countless hours of entertainment for my family, and it brings a smile to everyone's face who sees them, especially people on the freeway as we're in a truck going to a weigh-off. I hope that this knowledge can bring a smile to your face and maybe make you grow some giant pumpkins as well. Thank you. Does anyone have any questions?
Can you hold up one of those seeds so I can see what they're doing?
Yeah. And actually, if anyone wants some seeds, I have some.
Oh, yeah?
You can come up and get them. Does anyone else have any questions?
Give me one. I want one, please.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions?
Go get it.
Yes?
You talk
There's
about
probably some of you that
Oh my
didn't.
gosh, don't even mind. You're on my account like
Oh,
someone
he's
else.
got a few $100 for
Either
prizes.
when
No, what?
I'm
I
tired.
think like
Yeah,
350.
Hey, shut up.
Because we got, I think, third place at a weigh-off. And I think the prize for third place was like $200 or $300 for that. And personally, I have gotten $300 for second place for mine in the junior division, because they have pretty big prizes for that too. Does anyone else have any questions?
You still have your pumpkin?
No, they don't really keep that well.
Uh,
But I have the seeds, and we grow them most years. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, if you guys want some, you guys can come up and get these. Thanks for your time.
It was.
I don't want any.
$100.
Yeah, I guess that's
Circuit breaker.